Greetings. My name is Dr. Wadell Brooks, Sr., your host, and this is Community Forum. Ladies and gentlemen, we're very fortunate to have with us Rita Mayfield. She's the Illinois State Representative, District 16, and she's the first African-American female to serve in District 60. She's going to be talking about the state of Illinois agenda, and she's going to give us an update. Greetings, Rita.
Hi, how are you? Thank you for having me.
We're very happy that you've taken time from your very busy schedule to be with us to talk to, District 60, but all of Lake County about an agenda in the state of Illinois. First of all, I want you to tell our listening audience a little bit about your personal professional background.
Okay. Well, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Rita Mayfield, 60th District State Representative, as Dr. Brooks stated. Prior to getting into politics, I do hold a double master's degree. I hold a MBA as well as a master's in business and organizational development. And I was working with severely disabled individuals on the Navy base right here at Great Lakes. My job was to run their case management department. I worked with individuals with serious physical, mental, and behavioral disorders. And what we did is we helped them to re-enter society. It was a really great job, and I really liked what I was doing, but I had a calling. I was serving on the school board, and from the school board, I got appointed as a state representative. So I've been doing a whole lot in the community for a very long time. Started volunteering back in high school as a candy striper. I used to read for the veterans at the VA hospital. My lifelong ambition has always been to serve the community, and I've been doing that.
We're very fortunate to have you and representing us in Springfield, but what piqued your interest in politics?
Actually, it was my son. My son was a student at Abbott Middle School in Waukegan, and he wasn't doing well. And the fact that they kept promoting him and moving him forward, even though his academics were not there, it really was disturbing to me, because I'm like, if they're pushing my child through and he's not prepared, how many other students, are they just pushing forward? And then when I looked at the dropout rates, I got really upset, and I ran for the school board. I'm like, if somebody needs to fight for our children, and I'm willing to do it.
Fantastic. District 60 was represented by the late Eddie Washington, right? But tell us about your connection with him.
Well, I was one of Eddie's volunteers. We worked very well together. He had successful programs in the community. He really cared about the community. His saying was, he was fighting for the least of these, those individuals in the community that did not have a voice. And when I took over for him, I picked up that gauntlet, because he was absolutely right. When you're fighting for women, children, veterans, disabled, senior citizens, individuals who cannot afford those high-powered lobbyists, you need a representative that is going to go down there and really push to make sure that those services are provided for those. How can you cut services for veterans, individuals who have fought, and many died for our country, and then they come back and they don't have any services? It makes no sense at all. Our senior citizens, how do you cut off the few little resources that they have or force them out of their homes? It's just untenable. So they definitely needed someone to fight for them. Eddie Washington was truly a fighter. He fought for recidivism. Those individuals who were returning citizens from IDLC, they were coming back into our community, and he wanted them to be productive citizens. Well, how do you do that if you can't have a job? How do you do that if you don't have training? So those are some of the things that I was able to, once I became representative, was to really push. Through my office, we have relationships with a lot of employers now who are willing to hire individuals with a background to give them that opportunity. Even Amazon partnered with us and hired individuals with backgrounds. That's unheard of. Other communities are like, well, how did you do that? Well, you have to pick up the telephone. You have to call these businesses and really have a conversation to them and explain to them why helping someone with a background to re-enter society, and to be a contributing citizen, really does help that community more so than just not allowing them to go back into the system. It also reduces your taxes.
Rita, you cover quite an area, but tell us about the composition of District 60.
Okay, it is primarily Waukegan, North Chicago, with parts of Beach Park, Gurnee, and Wadsworth. So it's a very diverse district. You on one end, you have individuals, who are living very well. And then on the other end, you have individuals who are struggling. So when you're trying to bridge that gap, and you really do have to be out in the community to say, okay, what can I do? How can I help as many people in this district as possible? Because the legislation is not a one size fits all. It has to be tailored toward my community. And that's what I do. I am very visible in the community. You can go to my Facebook page. You'll see I am all over the place. I will partner with any and everybody that is doing something positive out here in the community. And I'm very visible. And my constituents will always say, wow, we see you everywhere. And I'm like, yes. And I have to be everywhere because I need to hear from you. I need to know what is that's important to you. And I'll be honest, the one thing that I'm hearing right now after everybody got their boo sheets is taxes, taxes. What are you going to do about my taxes? So there's just a lot that's going on, but being visible, being out there, bringing resources back to the community. I'm not sure if you followed my Facebook page, but you saw that there was a Hispanic organization, Club Apicea. We were able to get them a $20,000 grant. What they've been doing since COVID started is they've been feeding the hungry every single week with a drive-through food pantry. Julie Contreras, through her organization, she's been doing food giveaways. I've partnered with her on quite a few of those. I'm just truly grateful for these organizations that have stepped up to provide a need in the community. Through Legacy Reentry Foundation, I was able to get them a $700,000 grant for violence prevention. We saw with the George Floyd murders, with the riots and the just the things that were the negative things that were going on in the community, that we actually needed to have an organization step up so that we could channel some of that energy, some of that anger that is out there in the community. Don't tear up our businesses. Don't tear up our community. Let's channel that. Let's see how can we make a difference. You're saying you want change. Well, we can do legislative change. We can definitely do that. But for some of the other ones, what I've seen when I was out there with some of these individuals that was marching, and I heard, well, we don't have jobs. I want a job. Okay, you want a job, but you're tearing up a business. That business will not hire you if you're the one that's tearing it down. So having those conversations, and now we have an organization that has the money and the resources, and they're going to be hiring outreach workers to reach out to these young men and these young girls out in the community, to help them to do things more positively, to obtain jobs if that is what they need, mentoring. There's just a wealth of things that they're going to be doing with that $700,000.
Well, I looked out my window and I saw a car drive up, and who was that but Rita Mayfield delivering meals to senior citizens. And that was really outstanding. I really, because I may say this, the mayor, Rockingham was one of the ones also. So I would say this, we do have legislators that are concerned about senior citizens. But tell me this though, you have to have a coalition. I mentioned mayors, congressional representative, I guess that's Snyder, I guess, and you have to be with unions, the county board, and you mentioned all the other organizations. Every time I go to a banquet, I see Rita Mayfield, whether it's the all the women, what they call the
Harbor Life Chapter, the Links Incorporated.
yes, and so you're part of. You have to coalesce with all of these entities, right? To be
Absolutely.
successful.
Yes. And that's part of knowing your community. I mean, how can you be effective if you're not in the community? I can't do my job from at home. I have to be out there because otherwise I don't know what the needs are in the community. How do I address violence if I'm not understanding where that violence is stemming from? How do you address economic recovery if you don't know which businesses really need that boost in economically, particularly right now during COVID? When we see all of these businesses that are closing, so we did a lot of the grants, the recovery grants, helping them to apply for the grants. Just because you put a grant out there doesn't mean that a small business owner knows how to adequately fill out that paperwork in order to obtain the grants. We saw individuals who were at risk of losing their apartments risk at losing their homes. There were grants that were available to them through the state. We provided free rental assistance, and we provided mortgage assistance. We didn't want anybody to lose their home during COVID. But again, just because that grant was there, a lot of people did not know. And I really commend my staff for taking the time and helping individuals to fill out those applications online and to submit that paperwork so that we wouldn't lose, individuals wouldn't lose their apartments, they wouldn't lose their homes, and that our businesses could receive those funds that were available to them. And we did very good. We helped quite a few businesses to stay in business, and we're still helping them.
Well, high on the list is tax relief for citizens. Tell us about, I know everyone watching this program is interested to see what programs you have for tax relief.
Well, let me just say this. The state of Illinois does not collect $1, not $1 in state property taxes. That is all your local entities. So what we've seen with a lot of individuals who receive their blue sheets, we see that the county increased a lot of the assessed values on your homes, which automatically raises your taxes. We've got all of these different taxing bodies, the school districts, park districts, your cities, villages. They're all looking to do the automatic levy, which is going to tax you again. So that's 2 increases during a time of COVID when individuals are being laid off of work and don't have any money. So I know myself and my colleagues, we were part of a task force that looked at how can we reduce property taxes. You know, we looked at how do we look at these TIF districts. Some of them have just gone on forever and ever and not effectively paid into these systems, particularly our school districts, which is the largest portion. But I'm getting requests from individuals for legislation to basically do a moratorium, a 1-year moratorium that says not one public body can raise taxes for a year. It's a form of tax relief. I'm not sure where to go, but this came from my constituents that are saying, you know, I'm being taxed out of my home. I can't take it anymore. What am I going to do? Can you run this legislation? And I told them, yeah, I will file any bill that, you know, you ask me to file, and I will fight for it, particularly for taxes. I don't think that it's too much to ask for, particularly right now for a 1-year moratorium on taxes. You know, let's, you know, just keep everything flat. Don't raise the taxes. Let all of the public entities live within their means, live within that 1 year, and give the people a tax break.
Well, what about health conditions in Lake County? We talk about ethylene oxide, you know, we talk about marijuana that was made legal by the state, and COVID-19 that you just mentioned. But tell us about how you coalesce or working to try to ease the pain of the citizens on this.
Okay, let's start with COVID because it's probably the most important and it's not going anywhere. You know, I just had a friend of mine call me up yesterday and told me that, you know, she had a relative who had contracted COVID. Mm-hmm. We have to wear the mask. We just did a huge mask giveaway at Vista Hospital. I'm so thankful to Norm, the CEO over there, for partnering with me to do that. But that's the thing. We're just trying to give out more and more masks. The YWCA is giving out masks. There's an African American coalition right here in the Waukegan area. They're giving out masks. Everywhere you go, there are signs saying mask required. I tell people, if you need a mask, come down to my office. We will give you a mask because we want everybody wearing these masks. We have rewashable masks that we're giving out. There's flu shots that are available right now. Get your flu shot. I'm just encouraging people, if we can cut down on the incidence of flu, possibly we can cut down on the incidence of COVID as well. So we do still have the testing site downtown Waukegan. CVS and Walgreens are also testing. So please, 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 if you feel the need to go out into the public, wear a mask, protect yourself, protect others, be very respectful of that. Marijuana, I think that's a conversation for another day. I've not ever been a proponent of marijuana. You know, I don't smoke marijuana. I've never tried marijuana. I haven't had an edible. I know a lot of constituents in the community are very excited about the possibility of us getting our own dispensary. My concern is, where's the money going to go from that dispensary? Is it going to come back into the community, you know, so that we won't be looking, maybe the city hall won't raise our taxes as much, You know, is it going to go into community programs? What exactly is it going to go into the schools? What are they going to do with all these millions of dollars that we know are being made off of marijuana? If it's not going to come back into this community in a positive fashion, then for me, it's a problem. That's how I feel about marijuana. ETO, we have the ETO plant Medline, and you also have Vantage in Gurnee. Medline installed, I'm going to say it was like $6.5 million worth of scrubbing equipment to bring their emissions down, and they are within the state guidelines as of right now. Vantage, however, we've known from the testing that the Stop ETO organization has been doing that their numbers are still high, and the problem with Vantage is that they're right next to a school. So you've got these young children who are developing different forms of lymphoma, and you have a manufacturing plant that is not doing what they need to do to come into compliance. So we're looking at follow-up legislation that says if the numbers are not in compliance with the current state statutes, we're not looking to change the current state statute, but if they're not in compliance with the current state statute, that the business will be shuttered by the EPA until they can install the correct equipment to bring their emissions down. We also have a coal plant that's a problem, but you know, that's another issue.
Okay. Okay, you spoke about the you're high on education.
Absolutely.
You mentioned that you have 2 master's degrees, right?
Yes.
What about our youth? Are there any educational scholarships available from the state for our youth coming out of high school?
I believe every child should go to college for free.
Okay.
Small programs to allow for that. We just did the Transform program with the College of Lake County that provided a tuition-free vocational program. It was in various disciplines. I believe it was like medical, the medical field, forklift operator. There was just a myriad of opportunities there at the local College of Lake County for individuals who want, heating and air conditioning. That one filled up immediately. We want to do that one again. But it was free vocational training for those individuals who wanted to go directly into a vocational field. From the state of Illinois, what we also had through the University of Chicago is a free tuition program. This is for new students coming into the system. So if you have a student who would like to go to college and like to go free, have them apply to the University of Illinois. They are offering a free tuition program as of right now. If you know somebody that wants to become a teacher, there is a free 4-year tuition-free program for individuals who want to become teachers through the Grow Your Own. These have been my initiatives. These are things that I know that I have been pushing. I'm going to continue to push for free tuition programs. I believe that every child that wants to go to college should have the opportunity to go to college. We have so many millions of dollars, in my opinion, that are in the higher ed budget that could be redirected toward providing this educational service to students at no additional cost to the taxpayer. And that's what I'm looking at, not adding costs to the taxpayers, but using the funds that are already available to provide services to the community.
I'm very happy that the free tuition program is still available. In 1950, I received a 4-year scholarship to one of the 4 state schools, and I chose Illinois State. The tuition was $40 a semester.
Wow.
Now, it's a lot different now. Things are going up now, but I'm happy to hear that the program is still available.
It definitely is. And even if we raise that to $400 a semester, that still beats $4,000 a semester, okay, which a lot of our families in our community, these are working class families. I have some parents that are working 2 jobs just to make ends meet. And then they have a child that wants to go to college. How as a parent, can you tell your child no? That's a hard position to be in. We want to make sure that we are providing these services, particularly when we have the means to do it. We definitely have the means to do it.
Is there a typical day in Springfield for Rita Mayfield?
Okay, yes. A typical day runs from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. and it is filled with committees and meetings. That is my typical day. So for those of you who think that Springfield is this glamorous thing and that we're escaping, no, it is work, 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 and more work. Committees in the morning, I chair the House Elementary and Education Appropriations Committee, that's K through 12. Those are the dollars that come out to the school district. So there's a lot of meetings that we have to have, committee meetings, talking about to all of the different entities that are requesting money from the state, and basically asking them to validate, because this is not free money, these are taxpayer dollars. So we want to be good fiscal agents of those tax dollars. So when those entities come before us, they have to justify the dollar amounts that they're requesting. Where is this money going? How many students are you going to serve? And can you explain why you're not utilizing the current dollars that you're already getting and why you need more? So, we really do ask hard questions. So that basically starts off the day. And then from there, it's just one committee after another. I serve on multiple committees in the House, and I enjoy that. In the evenings, those are when a lot of the other appropriation committees will meet. I'm also serve on that public safety appropriation committee, and that one normally goes late into the evening. That's where you're dealing with your state police, IDOC, the Criminal Justice Authority, and other entities like that. And we're looking at their budgets, making sure that they have what they need so that they can continue to do what they need to do to keep the state going for their various programming as well. A lot of times, when we're in these late night meetings, particularly the appropriations committee, so that's where the money is. That is where the money is. So I don't have time, to go out, to have meals, to wine and dine. I don't have time for that, because I need to stay focused so that I can bring money back to the community. What do we have? What did this department not spend, and how can that money be reallocated without raising taxes to the community and saying, okay, we're going to reallocate this money and put it to this program over here, or to this program that identified a need. So that's what happens, from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. It's meetings, and committees, and then sessions somewhere in between.
Well, your constituents raise a question that everyone is interested in, making health care affordable.
Yes.
What can the state do to make health care affordable?
Well, and I would like to invite everybody, please go to my page. I have a Zoom, a community Zoom that is available to everybody. I believe the Zoom can hold up to 500 to 750 people. So please join that link. It is a Medicare for All discussion. What is Medicare for All? Medicare for All provides a one low-cost solution to medication, to health services, to medication. Instead of having all of these different tiers that you're going to pay, everybody's going to pay the same rate. What we have found with the current Medicaid system is that doctors are paid at a lower rate. So you're not getting the same quality health care you would be getting if you were on Medicare or if you had private insurance. That's not fair. Why are low-income individuals constantly being penalized and receiving substandard care? Why are they giving these generic medications that have so many different side effects as opposed to the name brand medication? You should not have to suffer just because you have a Medicaid program as opposed to a private insurance carrier. Everybody deserves quality health care, and that is one of the ways that we can get it, is through a Medicare for All or a single payer Medicaid payer program. So please join that Zoom or contact my office for more information, because this is very important. Representative Mary Flowers has been carrying this bill for the last couple of years. I've been co-sponsoring it, and we really want to push this initiative, particularly here in the state of Illinois. We've been very progressive in some of our initiatives. Healthcare should definitely be one of them.
Speaking of funding, tell me this though, what about funding for vocational training programs?
We had that through, there was a program that was funded through the Public Safety Appropriations Committee. And basically what we did is we gave money to the College of Lake County for those vocational programs, and it was free to the students. Those classes filled up quickly. It was a pilot program. We wanted to see how well it would go. And I can't speak for other areas, but I can tell you here at the College of Lake County in our area, we exceeded expectations. We have a waiting list. So I'm definitely going to go back when we go back in the session and push to have that program come back, but to come back even more so and to utilize dollars that were not spent in other areas and asking they be reallocated here, where we actually had a waiting list of individuals who wanted to take advantage of those programs. I think that's great. Anytime you can get a waiting list of people who want to take advantage, it's a great thing, particularly if we can do it at no additional cost to the taxpayer.
I want to congratulate you on, handling the questions that our citizens, because your constituents are interested in getting answers to. Now, I just had a few here, but if they want to get more answers, do you have forums? You mentioned you have Zoom yourself, don't you?
Right. I have Zoom. We do community forums. You can contact me in my office, 847-599-2800. You can reach me via my website, ritamayfield60@gmail.com. There is a box there. You can ask me a question. You can sign up for my newsletter. Anything that you are concerned about, please feel free to reach out to me. You know, we're in the age of Zoom, so we're doing a lot of Zoom meetings right now, but I just want to make sure that I'm still connecting to the community, and there's still a lot of events that are happening. So if you see me at an event, take the time, pull me aside, and let me know what your concerns are.
Okay, one concern, again, is an update on the casino for the city of Waukegan. Can you give us a comment on that?
It's in the hands of the gaming board. That's all I know. That's all I can tell you. I do know there were 3 applications that were submitted by the city of Waukegan, and that's pretty much it. We're just waiting for the gaming board. I know they were in the processes of reviewing those applications, vetting all of the people that were involved, making sure that none of them had ties to any type of crime organizations or anything in their background that was questionable. So it is a process, and just consider that they were doing all of this during the time of COVID. So things are moving a little bit slower than we had hoped, but hopefully there'll be a casino in 2021.
It is on the list. It's just a matter of getting approval, and hopefully people get their fingers crossed that Waukegan will be one of the ones that would be selected.
Correct.
Well, what about the ultimate goal of Rita Mayfield? You've been on as a state representative since what, about 2010?
2010, yes.
Wow, okay. And
so I was appointed in 2010, and as you know, I was appointed by Senator Terry Link, who recently resigned his position as state senator.
Okay.
Our current chair of the party, of the Democratic Party, is Lauren Beth Gash, and she did send out a notice to everyone that if you're interested in the position of state senate, to let her know. I did put my name in, so just full disclosure, I definitely put my name in. I have a lot of support from the community, from elected officials, from leaders in the community, from the unions. I've just got support. It's just been overwhelming, the amount of support that I have received for my bid for state senate. But again, this is not just, it takes more than that. The decision is up to our party chair, Lauren Beth Gash.
Thank you very much for taking time from your busy schedule locally as well as in Springfield to talk to your constituents about an update on the state of Illinois agenda, what's going on. Again, congratulations on being the first African-American female serving in the District 60. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, to tune in for another awareness session on Community Forum. My name is Dr. Wadell Brooks Sr., your host.
Thank you. Thank you so much.